Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Before we start, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you love mysterious true stories, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. I love seeing how far these stories travel. He's writing in his own blood. Danny Garrett, 24 years old, hands shaking so hard the words barely form. 4 words pressed into torn paper. They made us disappear. Then he shoves it inside his jacket, climbs into his cockpit, reaches through the open canopy to hold his best friend's hand, and waits to die. October 15th, 1944, 3 American pilots take off from England. Routine patrol, they're told, nothing special, except someone removed their gun cameras the night before, installed something in their fuel systems that doesn't belong there. Changed their route to fly over a sector that's been restricted for months. Danny knows. Frankie knows. Bobby, 19 years old, still writes his girlfriend's name on his plane. He knows too. They're flying into a trap. They go anyway. At 2:47 p.m., all 3 engines die. Same instant. Impossible. No smoke, no warning. Just silence as 3 Mustangs glide toward Belgian farmland. Danny's trying every restart procedure. Nothing. It's like someone just turned them off. Because someone did. On the ground below, a voice crackles over American military radio. Targets acquired. Shutting them down now. They land hard. Survive the landing. That's the part that matters. Danny's dragging himself from the cockpit, bleeding but alive, shouting about prisoners, about what he saw, about the photographs he took. Then he sees the trucks, American trucks, already there, waiting. A colonel steps out. Danny knows his face. Dead men don't have photographs, the colonel says. This is where the story should end. 3 pilots shot down over Belgium, bodies never found. Families bury empty coffins. The war moves on. Except in 2009, a Belgian farmer starts digging for a wind turbine. 12 feet down, his excavator hits metal. 3 P-51 Mustangs, arranged in a perfect triangle, pilots still strapped in their seats. They hadn't crashed. They'd been buried. Let me take you back, show you what they found. October 5th, 2019, Indianapolis. Emma Garrett just buried her father. Heart attack at 75. Now she's in his attic, sorting through boxes, when she finds a trunk she's never seen before. Her grandfather's name stenciled on the side. She breaks the lock. Inside, a journal. A Purple Heart, which doesn't make sense because he never came home wounded. He never came home at all. And tucked in the back, a photograph. 3 boys in flight suits, arms around each other, grinning like they own the sky. Someone wrote on the back, Danny, Frankie, Bobby, October 14th, 1944. Last night at the Eagle's Nest? The last night. Emma flips through the journal. Her grandfather's handwriting careful and slanted. Then she hits October 14th. The writing changes, pressed hard, urgent. Something's wrong with tomorrow's patrol. Changed last minute. No explanation. Bobby's nervous. Says his teeth hurt, which is what he always says when something bad's coming. The entry stops mid-sentence. If something happens tomorrow, tell Margaret I. Blank pages after that. Except one thing. Those 4 words, written in what looks like dried blood. They made us disappear. Her phone rings. Unknown number. Is this Emma Garrett? Elderly man's voice, paper thin but steady. My name is Walter Hullbrook. I knew your grandfather. Emma's heart stops. You're Frankie's brother. I'm 98 years old next month. I've been waiting 75 years for someone from his family to call. Pause. She can hear him breathing. There are things you need to know about what happened to them. Things I promised I'd never tell unless someone asked the right questions. What questions? The ones your grandfather was asking the night before he died. about why they were being sent to Sector 7, about what was really there. Here's what Walter tells her. That compound in Sector 7 wasn't German. It was ours. American doctors, American guards, but inside, Nazi researchers who'd been extracted early, continuing their experiments. On prisoners we told the world we were liberating, Holocaust survivors who thought they were getting medical treatment. They weren't. Danny found proof, photographed it. That's why he had to die. But wait, it gets worse. Walter hands Emma a photograph. Aerial shot of the compound, barely visible through trees, and in the corner, part of a plane wing, Danny's serial number. This was taken October 15th, 1944, Walter says quietly. Your grandfather found something, and someone went to enormous trouble to bury those planes, bury those boys, rather than let them be found. Because even dead, they were evidence. October 15th, 1944. Let me show you their last moments. They're falling. 3 dead engines. Bobby's calling on the radio, but it's dead too. Everything's dead. Danny's fighting the controls, trying to keep them together. He pulls out his notebook, scrawls those words. They made us disappear. Tears out the page, shoves it in his jacket. Then he looks at Frankie, at Bobby. They know what's coming. Stay with me, Danny calls out, even though the radios don't work. They do. 3 pilots, working dead planes, refusing to let go of each other even as they fall. They survive the landing, that's important. Remember that. All 3 climb out, injured but alive, walking, talking. 17-year-old resistance fighter named Ilsa watches from the trees. She sees American trucks arrive. Too fast, like they were waiting, sees them drag Danny out. He's fighting, shouting about evidence. They hit him with a rifle butt. He goes down, but he's breathing. All 3 are breathing when they load them into the trucks. Ilsa follows through the woods. Can't stop herself. The trucks go to a barn half a kilometer away. She hears shouting. Danny's voice, angry. Then Frankie's, trying to reason. Then Bobby, poor Bobby, just asking why. 10 seconds of silence, then 3 gunshots, spaced out, 1 for each. But here's what haunts her. An hour later, she sees them bringing the bodies back out, putting them back in the planes, strapping them into their cockpits. They're going to bury them, make it look like they crashed, like locals hid the bodies. No one will ever know they were executed, except Danny was smarter than they realized. When they dragged him from his plane, Ilsa saw him shove something into his jacket during the chaos. That torn page, those 4 words written in his own blood, his last act of defiance. Fast forward. Emma's standing in a Belgian forest. 2019. She's followed the clues from her grandfather's journal, a key, an address. Land Danny somehow purchased in September 1944, a month before he died. Under 75 years of growth, she finds it, a concrete hatch. Inside, filing cabinets, medical records, photographs that make her stomach turn, evidence of American doctors working with Nazi researchers, experiments on people who thought they were being saved. And someone else is there. An old man in an expensive coat descending into the bunker. Emma raises her gun. Dr. Blackwood, she says. He holds up his hands. Actually, it's Martin Shepard now. Has been since 1947. The man who ran the experiments, 97 years old, still alive. I didn't want to do it, he says, but Morrison had my family, said they'd be killed if I didn't cooperate. He's dying now. Cancer. Says he's been collecting evidence for decades, waiting for someone brave enough to expose it. Your grandfather was the brave one, Blackwood tells her. I just survived. Then his phone buzzes. He looks at it, shows Emma a video. His granddaughter, 13 years old, terrified, in a warehouse somewhere. "They have her," he whispers. "Said they'd let her go if I delivered you and the evidence." Emma tightens her grip on the gun, but Blackwood smiles. Sad, resigned. "I just uploaded everything to 50 news outlets. It's done. In 1 hour, the whole world will know." Above them, boots, engines, tactical teams. They're dragged up into the night, black SUVs, no plates, but also news vans, cameras. Someone tipped off the media. Blackwood's final play. Emma's shaking, zip-tied, but she sees the reporters and shouts, "My grandfather was murdered, Danny Garrett, killed by his own country for discovering Operation Prometheus." The cameras swing toward her. The tactical team hesitates. You can't disappear someone on live television. Within hours, it's everywhere. Leaked documents, photographs, names. Danny Garrett's face on CNN. Young, handsome. The pilot who refused to stay quiet. The government scrambles, offers deals, threatens lawsuits. But it's too late. 75 years of secrets finally in the light. November 11th, 2019, Arlington. National Cemetery. Official ceremony, flags, honor guard, 21 gun salute, 3 coffins holding fragments, bones so mixed together after 75 years underground they couldn't separate them. The president talks about heroes. Emma steps to the podium. She's supposed to say thank you, accept the narrative. Instead, "My grandfather was 24 years old when he was murdered for refusing to stay silent about war crimes." Gasps. Aides scrambling. He wasn't a hero. He was a terrified kid who loved his pregnant wife and wanted to come home. But when he found something evil, he couldn't look away. Security's moving in, but she keeps going. They died singing. 3 boys holding hands in their cockpits as lethal injections stopped their hearts. That's not heroism. That's tragedy. They cut her microphone, but it's already viral. Here's what Danny wrote the night before he died. "Tomorrow I die for something I believe in. Not country, not flag, but the simple truth that some things are wrong no matter who does them. I'm not brave, I'm terrified. But Frankie says courage isn't the absence of fear. It's doing what's right despite the fear. So tomorrow I'll be courageous. For Margaret, for our baby, for Bobby and Frankie, for everyone who can't speak up. We're going to die holding hands, looking at each other, refusing to let them make us disappear alone." The last thing Danny saw: Bobby reaching out his hand, Frankie taking it, both reaching for his, 3 boys singing their squadron song as the morphine pulled them under. Silver wings and morning light, carry me home through endless night. They held on until the darkness came. When Morrison's men tried to position the bodies for burial, they had to break their fingers to separate them. 75 years later, Emma stands at their grave. Real one this time, black granite. 3 names, their ages, 24, 25, 19, just kids. And beneath their names, 1 line, they flew home together. The investigation's still going, probably will be for years. 1 arrest so far, a 98-year-old general who claims he was just following orders. Most of the guilty are dead, died peacefully, full honors. But 17 other families have come forward now. 17 other pilots who disappeared after asking questions. The truth's spreading. Can't be stopped. It's not justice, not yet. But it's a start. Emma opens Danny's journal one last time. Reads his final words, the ones he wrote before that last flight. If you're reading this, know that 3 boys loved each other and their country enough to die for both. Danny Garrett, Frankie Hullbrook, Bobby Wheelen. October 15, 1944. We were here. And now, finally, the whole world knows it. 3 pilots who knew too much, who refused to stay quiet, who held hands as they died rather than face it. Alone. They tried to make them disappear, but some truths won't stay buried. Not even 12 feet under Belgian soil. Not even after 75 years. They were here. And we remember. Thanks for watching. That was today's story. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more untold mysteries every week. And don't forget to drop a comment below and tell us where you're from. Your city might get a shout out in the next video. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.